Good afternoon, everyone. It's Patty Tucker from pattytucker.com. Can y'all stand how many times I've been in here today? Lord have mercy, there's a lot of Patty in your world, isn't there? All right, y'all. I have been watching a lot of motivational videos because I'm trying to dissect what it is that truly motivates people and, you know, gets their motor running, and how that has worked in my life. Years ago, I've always been somewhat of a life coach, mixed in with tutoring and teaching, but years ago, the biggest lesson was brought home to me about people who think they can't, and they actually can, and they have it within them to go after what they want, but they've been told by somebody else, you can't, it's not in you, don't even try. I was tutoring a young girl in math, I believe it was Algebra 1, and her teacher told her that she needed to give up the math and the science courses that she was doing because basically she was stupid. Nothing pisses me off more, y'all, than somebody telling a kiddo that they can't do it, or that they shouldn't try to do it, or, you know, putting these labels on young people makes me crazy. So what we did is we basically tore apart how she was looking at math, and we found a way to make it make sense to her. And she went on to be at the top of her class, and her mom even said, after our first session, her mom had sat in the room and listened to me tell this young girl, you can do it and we're gonna get you there. And her mom asked me privately, you know, was it a bunch of BS? Did I really think that? I really thought that, and proof was in the pudding. So what I want to say to all of y'all is, when you understand your passion, when you understand where your desire comes from and what it is, you are this close to success. And for me, my passion and my desire has mostly been about writing and connecting people through that writing. When I was younger, I felt very disconnected from many things, for many reasons, and I found that writing really helped me to have a much stronger voice. I wasn't a great speaker, so my writing was able to communicate the depths of what I wanted to communicate, and I found that people responded. And when I continued to write, I found that when I was my most vulnerable, when I was my most truthful, those were the moments where people really responded. And I think it's because most everybody in this world feels like they're the only person that feels a certain thing, and that's just BS. And so I'm looking at my screen real quick for a minute. If you guys saw my post yesterday evening, there's a lot of naughty words in there, y'all, but that's kind of how I speak in real life. Gary and I went back and forth talking about, you know, should I post a post that had the F word in it? And I use it very casually in my life, and I know there's a lot of people who hate that, but I've been doing it basically my whole life. Many of you know I grew up in West Texas and grew up with mostly boys as my running friends, and it's just the way it was. And so anyways, I watched C.T. Fletcher last night. I watched his documentary, and I discussed that last night. And I'm just blown away. Here is a guy who was beaten to hell by his own father when he was coming up. And he was torn down at every opportunity for nonsense, like just for the way he walked, his dad would beat him. Think about that for a minute. And yet he's this huge motivational speaker and influencer in this world today. It's stunning. If you've never watched his documentary, I'll link it below in the comments, and I highly suggest you should. It's a lot of time in the gym. I know Some of you guys, you know, might not appreciate that, but as a person who has been a gym rat, you know, much of my life, I just ate it up. I just thought he's a phenomenal person, and what he is doing and what he is succeeding at in his life is just stunning. And it didn't come easy, y'all. It did not come easy. So basically, for me, my fire comes from my past, from a direct result of my past of trying to be put into a box. I was a very vocal child. Which was unusual for a girl. And luckily I had a father who was in media, and he always encouraged me to think out loud and to say the things that need to be said. For me, for my own personal self, maybe not for somebody else, but for me, he encouraged that deeply in me. And to this day, when somebody tells me no, yeah, I think all of y'all have been here long enough to know what happens when somebody tells me no. So here's the thing, there's always going to be this box that people are going to want to put you in. You know, they're going to want you to be this way and not that way, and they're going to want you to, you know, just behave in a certain way, and that really is a projection of their fears onto you. And if you can remember that, if you can remember when people are, you know, they call them haters now, when the haters come, it really is a projection of their inner self and not your outer self or your inner self. And you need to really remember that. Pain and the beat downs of life can be turned into success. And Gary has told me our whole married life, when I explained to him that I'm having a conversation with someone and they asked me for the truth, I never try to give a truth that is harmful. If I'm asked for it, I will probably couch it in a way that's the most tender and with the most care. But if somebody is asking me for the truth, I am thinking they need the truth, and I'm being asked, and I'm going to do it. Most times that gets me into deep trouble, and it always has stunned me. And Gary has always told me that people do not want the truth. They don't really want the truth. They want, you know, all the other bullshit and not the truth. And I'm here to tell you that if the truth is, if you have been beat down by life, if you have, you know, if you had parents that beat you, if you came from a terrible upbringing, you can still have success. You can still retain that joy. And it really is up to you. And you need to know what your self-worth is. And if you're not at that point right now, then it's okay. You just do the work. You just do the work every stinking day, and you find what you're passionate about. You find what your desire is, that thing that keeps you up at night, the thing that you dream about, the thing that you'll talk about, the thing that you would do, the thing that you do and not get paid for. You do that thing. That is the place you need to be exploring. How can you take that and turn it into a success for your life? Whether it's a business or not, it really doesn't matter. You know, you take that pain and you transform it. And I'm a big believer in taking pain and transforming it. I have had many things happen to me in my life. I am 50... I'm a double nickel. I'm 55. I forget all the time how old I am. Up here, I'm in my 30s. Outwardly, I am 55. And I know people say, as a woman, you should never tell how old you are. Bullshit. I don't belong in that box. The box I belong in is truth. And I am 55 years old, and I'm at the part of my life, I can feel it. It's this whole thing that's opening up in front of me, and it's so exciting every day. Every day I get up and I'm like, hail to the yes. And that's how I want you guys to feel. I want you to understand that it doesn't matter what happened back there. It matters in the point that it has shaped you, and I'm hoping that you have been able to look fear in the eyes and say, fuck off. I'm hoping that's what it is. Maybe not, but that's okay. You can still get there. And there was that F-bomb again. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a very very casual thing with me. Well, so here's the bottom line. What I have, you can have. What I believe, you can believe. And I just want you guys to know that. And this is what this site and pattytucker.com and the content that I write, what you can expect from pattytucker.com moving forward. It's going to be a lot of you can do it because you effing can. And it's going to be a lot of actionable posts for you to move forward. It's not just going to be, hey, you can do this, or, you know, I believe in you. It's going to be things that you can actually put your hands around and go and do it, and you can see the results as well. And I'm just so excited. I really am so excited. And like I said, I want everybody to watch this documentary. His life, what he says, what he tells, his truth is it can be life-changing for many of you who are stuck. And the other thing I want to say too is below, I think 1 or 2, there was my running one, there was a TED Talk. It was a 10-minute TED Talk. If you haven't watched that today, please go and watch that sometime this week. Be prepared, paper, pen, and it will help you, the guy who's giving the talk will help you figure out what your life purpose is. And I know that's why you come here, why you're looking, you're searching. And I have had much success in my life in helping people find what they're looking for. And so really, at the core of who I am, I'm a teacher, I'm an encourager, and I will help you kick ass and take names. How about that? You guys, find what your passion is, find what your desire is, and once you figure out that, your success is so close, so close. All right, y'all, I love you, and I thank you for being with me. I can't even articulate how much I love seeing y'all pop on when I have a live, or seeing y'all comment on anything on the blogs that I do. I don't say this lightly. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, because I know that there is a big vast world out there and you can spend your time anywhere, and for some reason you come here and crazy people. All right, y'all go have a great day, and I will talk to you some other time this week. Adios, my babies.